Good morning. It is March 1st, 2025, and we are in Rome this morning, activating the new Earth clock that we have been working on winding, bringing in the codes to bring the new timeline for our quantum leap into soul consciousness. I don't know if I can turn this, but if you see behind me, there is an Egyptian obelisk. We are in Rome today to do quite a bit of things. There are 13 obelisks in Rome that we will go individually to each one and activate them as a receptor of one of the 12 cosmic rays of creation, and the one at St. Peter's in the middle of all of the energy, bringing it right down the source point, 13th pillar. That will be the last one we activate today, as we have quite a bit of work to do at the Vatican today. But first, I'm just fresh off a train this morning to come here today and individually activate each pillar that will support the new soul consciousness frequencies of our planet. This is where the clock is located, the actual, like you could say, the bezel of the clock. This is the Stargate that corresponds to this part of the Diamond Sun architecture. That is the source point where we're going to be moving from building this new architecture. This is where we came in 2021 to open the gates of heaven. So this was where we went, and this was where man's time ended when we came here in August 2021. It's been so much happening the last few years. It's just really sometimes hard to keep up. But we are here today for when we open the keys of heaven there with St. Peter. We are actually also coming today to wind that clock and start it up for the quantum leap of consciousness. I'll come on when I can to save battery on my phone, and I have a lot of things to do today, but I will take pictures on all the obelisks where we go to activate this. There's some work with St. Francis, who has the key for this particular point, and I'll talk about that more when we're there with the relics of St. Francis that happen to be in Rome today for this activation. So I will see you around Rome today, and I'm getting started. Let's do this. I am outside of the church at St. Paul's. Oh. I got the Sophia here, the pure, the pureness of creation. And this is the thing with Rome. It's like the twins. There's these twin flames. It's the twins, Remus and Romulus. It's the Emperor and the Pope. It's Peter and Paul. It's a Sophia and Christos. And always the Sophia got cast out. But no more, because today here at St. Paul, we open that flow of that force into this collective Stargate to begin to bring balance and harmony to the Western idea of religion, soul consciousness, Christ consciousness as a component with the Sophionic force of creation. I am just blown away here at St. Paul's because the pure essence of creation here is just absolutely amazing, and I have so much more to do, but I don't want to leave here because it feels like home and it feels so good to me, and it's time to go. So I'll say goodbye from St. Paul's on the outskirts of Rome, because this is exactly what happened. This is, one twin has always been cast aside in Rome, and there's always been only one to take power, and we'll write more about that later. But how now it is time for the essence of the Sophia and the Christos, the masculine, the feminine, the magnetic, the electric, these two twin flames to begin interacting with each other within the collective consciousness, the East and the West. A lot of things happening for our planet and for humanity. I say goodbye from St. Paul's. So this is the monument of the water clock that is at one of the tallest spots in Rome, and it's very beautiful representation of what we are doing here. We are working with the earth clock today, so I just wanted to take a moment and kind of bring the energy in here to this spot for you, and I've got to get going. Symbolic moment for humanity. We just passed through the Holy Door. June 2025 Jubilee Shift for Humanity. Here we go. We're in St. Peter's, and I want to take a moment to share what we just did as a collective consciousness. Walking through the Holy Door to St. Peter's is walking through the gate of Christ into redemption, into becoming one with Christ, with Christ consciousness. So while we see it in a third dimensional representation of Christ the man, the church, we can understand that energy represents Christ consciousness and the gateway through to Christ consciousness that many pilgrims will pass through this year, that we are collectively also passing through. So not only were we just kind of blessed that gateway, so to speak, open that gateway, but it was more than what the Pope is like just opening the gateway to the church, is opening the gateway to Christ consciousness for humanity. And Peter is the church. On this rock I will build my church. The church is the manifestation of Christ consciousness. It's the physical manifestation of Christ consciousness, and that's what this church represents. And this morning we went to St. Paul, where St. Paul was martyred, to St. Paul's Church here in Rome, which is on the outskirts of Rome, which has always been sort of an afterthought to this, but it is really St. Paul representing the Sophionic force from which the church can be built. And we'll talk more about that when I'm not in St. Peter's, but we just walked through that door that the Pope broke open this year. It's a door for pilgrims to pass through Christ, a symbolic passing through Christ. Also symbolizing humanity passing through this time with Christ consciousness, bringing Christ consciousness, opening it into our heart. This is why we're going to talk about what's happening with the Pope when I get outside, and the future of humanity. This is our final obelisk, number 13, out front of St. Peter's Basilica. And What a day. What a day for humanity. What a day for us. I mean, really. We are out front of St. Peter's Basilica, where we just went through the Holy Door, the gateway to Christ consciousness. We are here. The number 13 pyramid obelisk, which represents where the master key turns the lock of the earth clock in order to reset. And this is Peter when he's crucified upside down. I'll put some visuals in this video or somewhere, and whatever it is that I am going to be doing for recording this historical moment for humanity. There is a painting, there's visuals, there's stories of Peter being buried upside down, arms stretched out between two pyramids. And that is on the gate of St. Peter's Basilica. That's the key. This is the key. The key between the two pyramids, right? The two pyramids, earth and heaven, heaven and earth, body and consciousness, form and formless. This is what we are doing here today, and it is the Jubilee. There are thousands of people here. It was like so long to get into St. Peter's, and just a really magnificent day here in Rome, going around to all of the 12 other obelisks that represent the 12 rays of creation, and the one which represents all of those rays in harmony. This is the key. This is the church within us. This is our inner sanctuary. The Christ consciousness that lies within us, that allows for the manifestation of our reality. And when these things are in harmony, we are able to experience the totality of our divinity, not just our humanity, like we are someone separate from it, but also our humanity and our divinity together as one experience. We're going into soul consciousness, so we will begin to understand that Christ is not something outside of us. It is not a savior outside of us. The church is not outside of us. This is inside of us. And today was a huge day for that. And the last thing that I want to talk about is that I was brought here today because the Pope of the Catholic Church, St. Francis, who is the only Francis ever to be a pope, or the only man to ever take the name Francis as a pope. And Francis is leaving us with hope, but he is leaving us. He is not going to make it through the he's not going to make it through the Equinox Gateway here in 2025. He will be leaving the planet because the Pope symbolizes Christ's presence on earth in one human being, that all human beings look towards for guidance or for intercession to heaven. That program is going away. Part of what we're doing here at the Vatican today is we're clearing out those old energetics. So when the next conclave happens, which will happen when Francis passes away, a new pope will be crowned, but this new pope will not be able to play in the old energetics of what it means to be a pope of the Catholic Church. It will be instrumental that this person becomes a conduit to bring in the understanding that Christ consciousness, that we are all a pope. We are all a representative of Christ on this planet. That is part of the soul consciousness programming that will be coming online as the old ways are crumbling. The obelisks here in Rome were moved here from Egypt, and some were constructed here by the Romans, but they have not been activated until today, tuning into the sun and the solar consciousness rays of this universe, especially in our solar system. This is a monumental day for humanity. A lot has taken place today, and a lot is going to continue to take place as we accelerate through this equinox gateway in March of 2025 with the solar and lunar eclipse on either side of that gateway. We have a very powerful quantum leap in human consciousness coming. We know that that means we are leaving one light program completely behind, and soul frequencies will begin dominating the collective consciousness. And the collective light program is shifting to soul consciousness program. So I am going to get off and I'm going to enjoy the rest of the day here in Rome before I leave. I came on a train in the night. I've been out walking Rome all day, and I have a few more things I need to do because we're going over to the Pinecone Garden next, because part of what is going to happen with this activation that we're doing today is the actual pineal gland. The collective consciousness doesn't have the pineal gland, but you understand that we have the pineal represents the inner vision. It's able to pierce beyond the physical reality, to see reality, to see ourselves, to see beyond this very black and white nature of physical reality. And so we are activating those frequencies that will help to bring the pineal online, or the frequencies that will allow the inner vision for humanity to come online for our collective consciousness. So all of this is happening. Of course, it's not instantaneous, but we are at trigger points today. I had to go earlier today to a exhibition that had the Canticle of Creation written by St. Francis on the original parchment in his original hand. That parchment contained the codes that were needed to bring here to Vatican City today to help bring about this new pontificate reality that's going to come through. We see that with the St. Francis Pope. There's a connection that is moving through the collective consciousness continuum. And we are really, really excited for what all of this means for humanity. And of course, when I am able to get home, get rested, and really tap into my heart and write this of everything that has happened and share the photos, I will put everything up for the collective consciousness for whenever, whatever year, day, month, or whomever wants to experience it, because I am a conduit of the collective consciousness as a pure source crystal conduit here on the planet. Master Key Architect, and I love you all so very much.